Yep, all set. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the November 20th meeting of the East Hempfield Township Traffic Commission. I would remind everyone that the meeting is being recorded and Robert's Rules of Order will apply as we turn through the agenda. At this point, I'll call the meeting to order and ask that everyone stand for a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, good evening and welcome. Okay. All right. We have some action items here this evening. The first action item is our minutes from the October the 16th Traffic Commission meeting. Any amendments, changes to that meeting minutes from the board? Any comments from the audience? Seeing none, I'll call for a motion to approve the October 16 meeting minutes as listed.
So moved.
Motion from Mr. Johnson, a second from Mr. Wigglesworth. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Okay, next up we have Embassy Drive, and I guess we're looking for some truck signage, addition of some signage there, correct?
Correct. The chief of police probably has some reporting. It was brought to her attention by one of her officers.
Embassy's Drive in front of Royal Farms, notoriously between the entrance for Royal Farms and Roarstown Road, there have been some large tractor trailers parking, which is blocking field of view for people trying to exit Royal Farms and make a left. So our request would be if we had some no parking signs there, we could enforce a little easier, as well as hopefully that would just deter the trucks from parking there.
Now, is that just within the property area of the Royal Farms, or are we looking to go further
No,
down?
we're just looking between Roarstown and the exit for Royal Farms.
Okay. So it won't extend beyond the entrance there, the left-hand turn in?
Correct.
Okay. All right, any comment from the board?
None. No.
Perry, you see any issues, Perry?
No, I do not. I actually agree. I've noticed that myself several times, that the turning lane has been blocked quite a few times by tractor trailers. And I think this is a good thing to do.
Oh, no.
Signage along Embassy Drive as soon as possible, I guess. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion Motion from Mr. Johnson, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Wigglesworth. Motion from Mr. Johnson, second from Mr. Wigglesworth. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Street.
You're not sure if you heard me, but I think that is a good idea.
So Barry had a conversation with a resident that lives in the area and had concerned the fact that the intersection at Oakwood and Marietta does not have street light. There's a pole there, but every other intersection has a street light, except for that one. That's also going to be the area where the blue-green corridor in that general area will be crossing Marietta. So to add a street light there probably makes sense. Since I found this today that there is a pole there already, adding the pole would cost the township probably $25 to $30 extra a month in electric costs.
Are we sure that we are able to use the pole that's there?
I don't know that Perry reached out to PPL yet, no, so we're not sure. It looks like an older pole, judging from the pictures.
I'm not sure if you can hear me.
They'll allow us to connect a light to it, they'll put it up for us, yes.
They'll put it up for us.
Right, and there's no extra cost because the pole's already there.
Okay, so it's just really the cost of the electric for the light.
Correct.
Provided we can use the pole.
Right away from use the pole.
Barry said the poll is fine.
Okay.
All's fine. This seems like an easy one. Any other comment?
No.
Comment for the audience? Okay. Hearing none, I'll hear a motion to install street lighting at Marietta and Oak Street as soon as possible.
So,
Motion from Mr. Wigglesworth, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion from Mr. Wigglesworth, second from Mr. Johnson. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
And just a point of clarification, I changed this agenda probably 3 times. It's actually Oakwood, not just Oak Street, Oakwood.
What's the intersection there at Barcrest, right?
Correct.
Okay, very good. All right, and finally, from an action item standpoint, I guess we're looking to install a no parking sign on Wood Street at a T intersection for improved emergency access.
Correct. We've had some difficulties with the trash truck. And if the trash truck can't maneuver, neither can an emergency vehicle. In terms of ambulance or fire, it's a T intersection.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to fix the Zoom sound.
Okay. It's a T intersection. Unfortunately, there is a car that typically parks there. The police have spoken to the owner of the car, I believe, and asked him to please not park in the intersection because it's an illegal park. He has not been ticketed. We figured it would be best to post no parking. I did send letters out to both properties affected. I haven't heard anything. Those letters went out Monday, so it's a bit quick. And we certainly could hold this until December, unless, I'm not sure if there's anybody from Wood Street here. No.
Are there any residents from Wood Street here? No, okay. I guess from my perspective, I'd be okay pushing this until December, only because we have tried to reach out to 2 property owners and we haven't heard back from them yet.
Right, it's only been 2 days. They probably got it yesterday, so it's really quick.
All right, so let's hold off and try to contact them before we take any action. That would be my recommendation. Guys?
I would agree. Do they have a place to park?
They do.
Okay.
They can park at the rear, and I think,
One has a driveway and parking along the side.
right,
Is there a reason that they've given that they,
I don't know if you recall speaking to them. It's been an ongoing issue for about
Yeah.
2 years.
I don't recall their exact explanation. We reached out to them a while ago.
But you can see from the print, there is parking on the one towards the cemetery. I think there's also a driveway for the other one as well.
And they have-
And then they have rear parking as well off that alley. The one is a rental and the other is owned. So,
Yeah, I'm still looking for where Wood Street is. I'm familiar with that.
Royers County,
So this
fire company is to your,
fire company is right down here. This is Marietta Avenue up here. This is the new Lime Springs Farms. Over here, Lime Spring Village. This is the cemetery that abuts Marietta Avenue just before you cross the railroad tracks.
Okay, well, it sounds like the suggestion is to delay it. So that sounds appropriate.
So we communicate with the residents.
Mhm.
allow them time, yeah.
And really, I'd like to hear a reason why they're not, if there is one. I'd like to understand that. You know, do we have to go to this extent to get them to comply?
I think the next step, since they were contacted, would be to ticket. And that could be done because they are parking illegally.
So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting one side of the conversation. I'd like to hear what the other side is, just because I know typically what happens is they show up at the meeting enraged and.
Yeah, give them the opportunity, yeah.
Right.
Hopefully they reach out.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so we'll table that to the December meeting. Okay. Moving on to traffic report from the chief.
Traffic report has a number of the same locations it has for the past few months. We gave attention to those spots, specifically just Running Pump Road. We did have an NREG speed detail there, shielded a number of contacts. I believe that Running Pump is still with Mr. Bauer for potential analysis or recommendation for any engineering improvements that could be done there.
Okay. Well, Farmingdale and Orville seem to like, well, for the last 5 months, we haven't had any contacts. We spent some time there. I would think that if November and December are well, I'm sorry, December's the same, we could
Remove that.
maybe even back away from that a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, and then looking at Running Pump, you know, we do have some issues there. Is our traffic engineer working on a plan for Running Pump, Mrs. Schweitzer?
No, he did do a plan, it is complete. He had some recommendations and the board and the authority or the commission chose not to accept or move forward with those. The running pump issue is, at this point, you'd have to spend a couple of dollars and really make that one way not accessible from Roystown Road. I think he suggested barricade. He also suggested more signage, but then the conversation was, there's plenty of signage there, they're just being ignored.
We talked
I
about
thought,
the
yeah.
same.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. Running pump, there is no solution. Sorry,
And we're not working on one,
correct,
okay, but
other than enforcement,
it does look like we have an issue there that we should
yes.
try and deal with. So could we ask our traffic engineer for a recommendation on that?
With,
Before we go to that
Yes, you
expense,
do.
have we tried the signs and the?
Yeah, we've tried some message boards. This location, it has been notorious for, I would say, almost my career of
Right.
having some speed problems. It's a 25-mile-an-hour zone. It's a cut-through street leading to a lot of industry and employment areas down on Embassy and Hempland. So it is notoriously been
Right.
a problem, so.
Have we had many accidents along that road?
Not within that stretch, no.
Not in this, not, so it's not.
Between Columbia Avenue and I'll call it the
Right.
Embassy
Embassy,
Drive, no, we don't
right.
typically have too many accidents there.
Yeah, the report that we got, and I can't remember when we got it. He looked at it, he couldn't find a solution.
Could we narrow the roadway at all?
It's
some-
already
some
very
way.
narrow.
I know it's not wide now, but
I don't know that there's much room to do too much more narrowing to be within a legal limit of lane width.
Have we had success with enforcement?
Oh, when we go down there, we have a lot of success. If you wanna call it success, we make a lot of contacts when we go
Right.
down there for periods of time,
That's what I meant, like you actually get people that are,
absolutely.
yeah, we've had what, we've had 60, almost 65 contacts since April through June. Well.
So we heard the recommendations at our August meeting.
We did hear one at the August meeting.
Yeah, he had the recommendations for us and they were reviewed by the commission. Running pump. He suggested changing the law, which is to allow radar was his first recommendation. All the traditional first steps to traffic calming are already implemented along Running Pump Road. The narrow cartway width limits the horizontal traffic calming tools that can be implemented, such as chicanes and center medians. Leaving vertical traffic calming such as speed bumps as an option.
is this a complaint driven? Do we have people in the area that have,
It is. Yeah. He says humps are an effective way to calm traffic, however, they can be difficult to implement. Well, he suggests a charrette to talk to the residents, what they would like.
That might be a good idea after the first of the year, put a bulletin out to the residents. See if they have any ideas, what they would like to see, how concerned are they about this? Maybe we're more concerned about it than they are. I recognize we have received a complaint, but perhaps we should approach it from that standpoint.
just being through some of the charrettes, I'm just not a big fan of them. Get half the neighbors upset with each other, some want one thing, some want another. I mean, I think the only thing that we're left with is either speed bumps or continued and more enforcement. You said we do have the signs down there that show the speed and
We
what
have
they're
put them
doing.
down there, yeah, they've been down since this has come up as a.
Down there the whole time.
No,
No.
we just rotated them
Okay.
down there. I think they're out there from, actually looking back at the report, we had them out in June, July. Yeah. We've had speed details down there a couple months, a lot of it would be 3-4 hour blocks of time where we're having anywhere from 12 to 22 contacts within a few hours.
So we had the speed signs on Spring Valley, right, that show the actual speed that,
Yes, those are permanent ones.
and So I guess if we were gonna do anything, right, we would have to either spend money for something like that or for speed bumps, right? Is that fair
Yeah.
to say? Do we have a budget number or an idea what that cost would be?
Barry, if you nod your head, I think we're talking speed humps, probably 15 to 16,000 each.
Perry,
Can you hear me yet?
Audio? No, it's still not working.
Still not working?
How about electronic signage? What are we looking at there for each sign?
Probably about 5 to 6,000.
So we could get three of those for one speed bump.
But I don't know how effective they have been on Spring Valley. Because there's still an issue there.
There's still an issue there. I think a lot of research has indicated they work for a period of time, then people get used to them when they're permanently mounted. And they lose some of their effectiveness.
Well, they could also be moved, easily moved to another location where we have another.
Public Works
Yeah.
does the type like Spring Valley, yeah. With the police department has our trailer, we have some signs that we, put up for a week or so at a time. That we deploy those intermittently, obviously all throughout the township, at different locations.
Perry indicated that one speed bump would not be enough, multiple would be needed.
Chief, is this, the highest average speed, for any 25 mph? In East Hempfield? I'm looking through some history here,
Yeah.
and it does seem quite a bit higher than the other ones that I'm looking at. Because they're
So
usually
Stafford Valley.
24, 25, 28, and this is 31.
Yeah, I think, wasn't Colebrook Road up there and
That's a 35, you're asking specifically for a 25, did you say, or are you just talking in general?
In general, yeah, I'm just, want to make sure if we do something that, like, we're picking
Sure,
the
roadways.
highest potential. Yeah, I know it's a hard question,
And that's a-
but with our new software.
With our new software for next deploy, I'll have a very quick answer for you right now. I'm kind of looking through a Google document of all of the speed studies that we have done just this year alone, which is 42 of them throughout the township. South Colebrook is always up there for our percentages. Sorry. If you're talking an 85th percentile junction in South Colebrook, running pump. Are kind of at the top of our list here for percentage based on overage for an 85th percentile. Yeah, running pump South Colebrook and Junction are double digits in a lot of the speed studies that we've done compared to single digits for some other ones.
How many speed signs electronic speed signs would we need for this stretch? Would you say?
2, 1 for each direction.
And the fact that it's 25 instead of 35, is that like based on being residential, and that's not at our discretion, it's just based on the characteristics of the road.
It is our discretion, but it's based on the characteristics. You wouldn't want to
We
set it
wouldn't
at
wanna-
35, because then they
No.
have 45.
And they go a lot faster.
Yeah.
Then it wears off, we could move the speed sign somewhere else in the township, we'd be able to reuse them, but we put in 2 speed bumps, I mean, it's in addition to the cost. But the other side of the coin is we know for a fact that people will slow down with speed bumps. So. Let's continue to study this for the next couple of months and take some action before the spring. You know, heading into the winter. We may not have the speeding activity that we've had during the summer or leading up to where we are today.
I'd be fine with that. It'd be nice to get more concrete costs too, for us. How many speed bumps would be required and what the cost would be. Same with the speed signs.
Yeah, and then just for myself, I'll drive out there and, you know, just to get a better picture of, what's going on. I mean, maybe, you know, don't change the speed, but is it necessarily a problem, Chief? I mean, I know people breaking the law is a problem, but is this like a danger area that you feel like should be addressed?
So there haven't been a lot of accidents, on the stretch of road. As far as danger component of it, it's also not a road that has a lot of pedestrian traffic on it. It's, vehicles with driveways on the road that would be pulling out, backing out. Some old growth of trees that then sometimes impact sight when pulling out of these driveways, and then the speed with the site causes some concerns of the residents.
I mean, 35 is, it's right around the corner from where I live, so I'm very familiar with the road. And 35 is a fast speed for that road, really. You shouldn't be traveling.
Yeah.
Well, it's really a short stretch now that's been reconfigured. I mean, it's not a long stretch of roadway. I really thought, unfortunately, it didn't happen, but I thought a lot of the problems would go away.
It's an attractive shortcut.
Yeah. And it's to the businesses, and we'll intentionally hit it. We know when shift changes are. Make our presence known during those shift change periods, but when people are running late and expediting getting to work. Bulk of the problem.
Okay. So we'll continue to take a look at this and get some costs on the, as Mr. Wigglesworth indicated, get some costs on this, on the speed bumps, humps, tables, and also on electronic signage. Okay, guys? All right, and then we have speed studies.
Yeah, coincidentally, the one that we did in the past month was on running pump. So.
Yeah, okay. So we know we have a problem there. Okay. Moving into old business, Tulane and Wilson, stop sign moved, Mrs. Schweitzer.
So that work has been completed, the curbing is in place with the curb cut and the stop sign has been moved forward. Perry told me today that the cost he had estimated at $6,500, it actually came in at $4,000. It's a good thing.
Good job.
It doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't. But we'll see how it goes for a couple months and how they are installing their trail on their property. So. See how
Is the
that
church happy with what's been done so far, or the?
I know Perry met with them to coordinate where the trail's located at. I
Can
don't,
you try your mic? I changed more settings.
Okay, I'm not sure if you can hear me yet.
still nothing.
No.
I don't know that it's been in place long enough for really to get a feel for it, so. We can reach out after the winter and see how they're doing.
But we've completed the extent of our commitment to them
Correct.
to do what we said we would do.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. All right, any new business tonight?
No.
Okay, hearing none. Public comment, any public comment this evening from anyone in the audience? step right up here to the left.
Please state your name and address for the minutes.
Hi, I'm Debbie Stover, 1506 Bloomfield Way, Landis Farm. And I have handed you our Landis Farm traffic safety issue. I'm here on behalf of other residents in our wonderful development, and also we have a small committee, and they're all here. One of the members is one of our HOA board members. We recently had an HOA meeting, and out of that evolved a small group and a need to address our traffic concerns. We just feel that we really need to improve the pedestrian safety on Nisley. We know that it's a through street, we get that. In fact, I've been analyzing it, about 1 in 10 people who go into a home or a street. Most of it is through traffic, from what I can observe. We would really like to eliminate incidents of people being concerned about crossing the street. And also, we've had an increasing number of tractor trailers attempting to go down Nisley Road. The first 5 years we lived there, I never personally observed a tractor trailer of Nisley. But the past year, I have observed 5. And our exciting one happened on trick or treat night, when the kids were all having a great time. In the middle of that, around 7 o'clock, one attempted to coming from the Harrisburg Pike end through our development and got stuck on the roundabout. And that was alarming, to say the least. Kids were yelling, people were concerned, like, what the heck is going on? Fortunately, there was a policeman there. I don't know if you were there or who was there. There was a police car there, so that did facilitate the difficulty of running through our roundabout to get out. But anyway, so due to that, and also because whenever there's a lot of pedestrian traffic, I mean, in my opinion, and I walk a lot, I see a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of us residents. Our kids are, one of our members is here, we have kids from preschool to high school walking around usually with an adult if they're young. But it's just become, we think, too dangerous to cross. You start to cross, you look both ways, and all of a sudden there's a car coming up, especially from the one end, the Harrisburg end. However, I will say this, today I noticed twice, just coming from Bowman, they come on 25 and they're following the speed limit. And I don't know why, but they speed up right before the roundabout. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so due to that, we have just a couple, we think they're simple and meaningful requests that would really help our development feel safer. We would like you to consider signage for tractor trailers to discourage them from entering Nisley Road. And it's been suggested that there's signage that says no trucks, local deliveries only. I mean, obviously, someone's getting furniture delivered or something, they might have to have a truck. That's understandable. But we really don't want to have, I mean, now that we have the, I guess it's the truck, parking area, warehouse, maybe that's why, I don't know. They got lost, I'm sure, because no one would want to go up Nisley Road, a tractor trailer, that we know. Also, we would like to request some reflective devices on the existing Nisley Road crosswalk signs, if possible. We see them in other locations, just simple reflective devices that might help. And also there's been a suggestion of a sign like children at play. We have a lot of children, 100 homes and 50 duplexes. So there's a lot of activity. We've also had a concern for checking visibility for the existing signage because I believe one of them is hidden by a tree. And then our other concern is to add crosswalk signage for our 2 school bus stops on Nisley. One would be at Limestone Ridge and one would be at Windermere. Currently, there are marks in the road there, but there is no signage, and there's a lot of activity, especially at the ridge, Limestone Ridge in Nisley. There's a lot of parents, a lot of kids moving around there. So those are our concerns, and mercifully, no one has been injured to my knowledge. But there's just a lot of conversation among us residents about our concern about crossing the street, and that's what I'd like you to think about. Thank you. I don't know if anyone else has anything to say.
My name's Amy Lehman and I am at 1500 Bloomfield Way. Our home is right at the roundabout, and so I observe a lot of things. My main concern is when I see children gathering at the concrete middle of the roundabout. They'll just sit there and talk and play or bikes, they go around, but back to the talking, they had chalk one time and they were doing all these drawings of chalk in the middle of the roundabout. And I can just see a car coming through, and I've seen that already too, where they just go straight through, over the concrete, straight through that roundabout. Even go on the other side of the roundabout, I've seen some crazy things. In fact, our light was knocked out twice in the front yard. So I usually go out there and I police them and I say, excuse me, but this really isn't safe for you to be out here. I, like you to go somewhere else to play. Just recently, there were kids on bikes and they were ramping off of the triangular parts that approach the roundabout. And so they were having fun with that. And then they would go around circles and then park there and talk. And so I went out and I told them, again, you should find somewhere else to ride your bikes. It's really dangerous. And I tell them cars come straight through here, right where you're playing. So you ought to go somewhere else, just park over there. And a couple of them left and a couple of them stayed. And my question is, as a resident, what do I do when that happens and I see them still in a dangerous spot? Is that something I can call authorities like police? Or what should I do there? I feel lost at that time. And another thing I wanted to talk to about was the sign that when you're coming from Nisley and approaching our first crosswalk, the sign's behind a tree, so they don't really see that it's a crosswalk coming up. So that sign could be moved in front of the tree so they can see that the crosswalk's coming ahead. But that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Just a quick question, is there, do you guys notice a lot of tractor trailer traffic through there? I mean, I take the road occasionally, but I've not, I don't think I've ever seen.
Some bigger trucks, but this one on Halloween night was huge. It was huge. It was, 18-wheeler, it was, but oversized, would you say, Randy?
Yeah,
It was big,
and they actually were trying to turn onto Prescott,
yeah,
which would have taken the tree out in the middle of the round.
it was a fiasco.
So
They actually had to back up and go straight.
they were there to make a delivery, perhaps?
No, apparently,
Excuse me, can you, our recorder can't hear you if you're not at a mic.
Okay.
I know they can, but our recorder can't.
And if you could
Thank you.
give your name and
apparently
address, please.
one of the people in the development went to talk to police, and apparently this guy must have been picking up his wife, surprise her or something, pick her up and go somewhere out. He didn't have any common sense, in other words.
Okay. Your name,
Randy Lehman.
address?
My husband.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah,
On the tractor trailer, I mean, that's sort of like a one-off,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're gonna see that once every couple of years, maybe, something silly, okay? We can't do much about that on an ongoing basis. I think what we can do is we can take a look at, going back to Debbie's comments, we could take a look about, crosswalk markings, some reflective signs perhaps. We can, I don't know what's out there right now. I guess I would say that, I hope that we would go out there, take a look, see if there's any improvements that we could make, immediately, right away. And also take a look at the signage, your suggestion about, all your suggestions were good, and I think we'll take a look at all of them. The one that, really not sure about, would be, truck markings, whether that's really needed or not on that street. We'd have to do an analysis there, put a, signage to limit tractor trailers. I mean, we have signage on Centerville Road. Whether or not we need it on Nisley, and we'd have to do probably a study of some type. But certainly we can take your suggestions on the crosswalk. I think your comment about school bus spots and signage there makes a lot of sense. So we'll work on that over the next couple of weeks, and then we'll get back to you. Okay. You can leave your phone number along with you. Did you sign in up here? Okay. Great. Anything?
I would just echo what Mr. Bennett was saying and explain to you, there is a process before we can limit trucks. And it's a lengthy process. We've gone through it before, but there's criteria we have to meet with the state, and it's not an automatic. And I don't know if there's enough here for us to even do it.
Yeah, on the surface, 5 trucks, no. And we maybe
So,
alert them to the.
Just so you know, we're not just saying no, there's a reason behind. There's a process behind this as far as the trucks go, that we have to follow. And the last item that you brought up about the kids playing on the roundabout, Chief,
I'm combing the vehicle code now to look specifically for something, by all means, call us, we'll come out, if it's that much of a safety concern. Yeah, I'm trying to doing some research on roundabouts, and very well may just fall into kids being the right of way of a roadway. I agree, it's probably not the best place for them to play, it might be
I know
more or less
less
just
than
kind of,
yeah.
going out, maybe not having a real solid leg to stand on, but, if, by all means, you're welcome to call us. Do you have the non-emergency number? I'll provide it to you after.
Is it the same kids repeatedly who are playing there? I mean, would it be like one
I'm not
police?
sure, the
police
same
person?
age, I'm not sure if they're exactly the same, but it's fairly frequent, especially over the summer months.
Maybe one conversation with a police person could.
And your HOA has a newsletter of communication.
That's why I spoke.
Yeah, so you feel as though that most of the kids doing that are residents of the community there?
Actually, they thought it probably wasn't.
Okay.
There's no way for me to know.
Right.
I just try to
I mean,
handle.
it might be something just as a reminder for your newsletter communication that along the months that, to express the association's, appreciation of kids staying off that for danger purposes.
But thank you for coming, thank you for your comments, we appreciate it, and we'll see what we can do.
Thank you.
A question about like children that play signs that was requested. Is that like a big deal or a minor deal? Is that something that?
Nisley Road really isn't a truly residential road. You would want those on the side streets, for sure. But no one's really playing
It is.
along, and there's sidewalks, so I'm not sure. We'll take a look, the chief will take a look.
Can I say something?
You have to go to the microphone.
About it being a residential road, because, the bus stops there and the kids fill a whole bus when they're going across there, that crosswalk. And, also they have these 3-wheeler things that I think are hoverboards or something, that they're low to the ground. So I see them going down the sidewalks along Nisley, and then they go across these crosswalks. And they do it really fast, it doesn't even look like they're looking both ways. I know this isn't a council thing, but it's a concern of mine as I observe this. So I try to get the word out to parents, if I don't know whose parents they are, but yeah, they're on these low things and they go down the sidewalk and they go across and then they go around the roundabout and around, and they're just all over the road there. So it's kind of a play area for kids. So, thank you.
Can you hear me yet?
From a public comment standpoint, this evening,
Just one thing, what does CAMCO stand for?
That's the management company for the HOA.
Oh, thank you.
It's on your paper, and since you read it, that was part of the minutes, so I just need to understand what it is.
I don't want to confuse you. That is an internal matter. We're just going to, that is the name of our organization that, you know, works for our HOA. And we're just going to work through them to give some common sense guidelines. So our parents and our residents, you know, are aware of things. I mean, it's common sense that I'm sure they're teaching their kids, but we just want to emphasize that. So that's all. Camco is just our management company. Thanks.
Okay, I see we have no additional public comment this evening. Anything else for the good of the board here this evening? Yes. All right, hearing none, we'll adjourn the meeting at 6:49.